When you stop chasing her, everything shifts. She may not say it, but she notices. That silence you leave behind doesn't go unnoticed, it speaks louder than words. At first, there's confusion. She's used to the rhythm of your attention, the predictable way you reached out, replied fast, or tried to make plans. When that stops, she wonders why. Is it someone else? Are you upset? Did she lose her grip on your interest? Her mind races through all the possibilities. But deep down, the sudden space you create doesn't just confuse her, it forces her to reflect. Attention becomes a mirror. When it's gone, she has to look at herself and what she contributed. This isn't about ego, it's about human nature. We often only value what's gone. And now, your absence is a presence she can't ignore. That's when curiosity kicks in, and curiosity is the first seed of emotional investment. At first, she might pretend not to care. She'll go about her day, scroll her phone, maybe post something that looks indifferent or even unbothered. But behind that screen, she's checking if you've seen it. She's wondering if the silence means you've finally moved on, or if you're simply testing her. See, when a man stops chasing, it forces a woman into her own thoughts. It challenges her perception of control. Especially if she was used to your consistency, your affection, and your validation. Now the mirror's turned around, and that's unsettling. If she genuinely liked you, even just a little, this pause stings. It makes her realize that your attention wasn't guaranteed. And in a world where everyone's seeking validation, suddenly being deprived of yours feels like rejection. But here's what matters. She doesn't just miss you. She starts wondering why she ever took your attention for granted. That's the silent power of stepping back. As the days pass, she replays everything. Conversations, missed replies, jokes you shared, even your flaws. The silence creates a vacuum, and vacuums get filled with imagination. This is where your absence gains power. You're not just not texting anymore, you're a mystery. We are a mystery. She starts comparing you to others, and if you were consistent, thoughtful, or emotionally present before, she feels the difference now. The more you remain silent, the more she feels your emotional fingerprint. What made you different from the rest? This is when emotional memory kicks in, and for women, emotions aren't just felt in the moment, they're stored. Your voice, your humor, your energy, it's all catalogued. So when you stop chasing, you're not just retreating, you're echoing inside her. And that echo builds a question. Did I underestimate what he brought into my life? That's the beginning of self-doubt. And self-doubt is where interest gets reborn, if you play it right. Her ego may try to protect her. She might talk to friends, say things like, "I never liked him like that anyway," or "he was too into me." But inside, she knows she noticed the shift. She starts analyzing things. Why did you suddenly stop? Was it something she did or didn't do? She might even test the waters, liking an old post, sending a low-effort message, or appearing in places where you might notice her. But she's not just trying to get attention. She's trying to measure your response. Silence, to someone who is used to being pursued, feels like a challenge. But she's not, and if she was never really into you, your absence will confirm it. But if there was something deeper, even just a spark, this pause will amplify it. Her thoughts turn inward. Was she too cold? Did she brush you off too often? The chase flips. Without chasing, you've made her chase herself. There's a fear in her now, subtle but real. What if she misjudged your value? What if you were the kind of guy she won't easily find again? That's when emotional scarcity sets in. When men chase too long without reciprocation, they lower their value. Boo. But when they stop chasing, they give space for their worth to rise. You've become scarce, and scarcity breeds desire. Now she's the one wondering, did I miss my chance? This isn't about mind games, it's about energy. You pulled yours back. And now she has to decide if she wants to meet you halfway. If you were authentic, emotionally mature, and brought peace, not chaos, she will feel that void. And in that space, clarity arrives. You're no longer the guy she kept at arm's length. You're the one that might slip away. That fear is powerful, and sometimes fear is what finally breaks emotional denial. She might even start changing how she presents herself. Better pictures, more thoughtful captions, subtle shifts in how she carries herself, because she wants to be seen. She may not say it, but this is signaling. It's her way of reigniting the flame without directly admitting she misses the warmth. This isn't manipulation. It's vulnerability in disguise. Women often test emotional waters before diving in. And by not chasing, you've given her the chance to feel the discomfort of your absence without blaming you. You didn't block, beg, or blow up her phone. You just disappeared into your own peace. And peace, for many, is confusing, especially when they're used to drama or constant validation. If she truly valued you, this is the part where her energy shifts. She's no longer wondering if you'll chase again. She's wondering if you've healed past the need for her. That changes the power dynamic entirely. What she really thinks now is layered. On one level, she misses you. On another, she resents you for pulling back. But deep down, the strongest emotion is regret. Regret that she didn't give more. That maybe she mistook your consistency for clinginess. That perhaps she judged your vulnerability too quickly. Because now, she's the one in uncertainty. And uncertainty is magnetic when it's tied to someone you once felt safe around. That's the paradox. You gave her space, and in that space, she remembered your presence. She may scroll through your old messages, laugh at something you said, or even replay voice notes. And in that quiet reflection, she realizes something powerful. The chase wasn't you trying to win her over. It was your way of showing care. And when that care is gone, she has to confront the reality of whether she ever deserved it in the first place. This is when she may start reaching out. A casual message, a reaction to your story, or even something seemingly meaningless like, "Hey, I saw this and thought of you." But make no mistake, that's a signal, not just of curiosity, but of regret, of hope, and of wanting to reopen the door without looking desperate. She doesn't want to admit she felt your absence, but her actions will. It's a test, too. She wants to know if you're still emotionally available. You're not playing games, you're protecting your peace. And that peace is what draws her in more than anything else. Chasing speaks, but not chasing that whispers deeper truths. The longer you hold your silence, the more potent it becomes. But timing matters. You're not punishing her, you're creating clarity for both of you. If she never reaches out, that's clarity. If she does, but only with breadcrumbs, that's clarity too. But if she genuinely shows up, apologetic, open, willing, that's when you know the silence did its job. Sometimes we chase because we're afraid to lose someone, but sometimes letting go is the only way to know if they ever truly valued you. When you stop chasing, you create emotional honesty. You remove illusion. You let her show her real intentions without pressure. This shift isn't about manipulation. It's about maturity, about knowing your worth. And if she never returns, let her go with grace, because walking away with dignity will always leave a stronger impression than chasing with desperation. She will feel that. And in time, she'll respect it, even if she never admits it. There's a version of her that now sees you differently. Not as the eager guy she once thought had nothing else going on, but as someone with self-respect, boundaries, and purpose. That image, that shift is powerful. It makes her revisit everything. Suddenly, the moments she dismissed as too much seem genuine. The way you cared becomes rare in hindsight. That's the secret most men don't understand. Your absence redefines your presence. You're no longer the guy begging for attention. You're the one she's wondering about. What you're doing, who you're with, whether you've found peace without her. That wondering changes everything. And in that space, attraction can rebuild. stronger, deeper, more intentional. If she does come back, it won't be just because she misses you. It'll be because she sees you now, truly. And if she doesn't, you've still won, because you learn to give energy only where it flows both ways. Most men fear pulling away because they associate it with losing, but real men understand that space isn't about punishment, it's about perspective. You're not retreating to hurt her, you're retreating to remember who you are, and in doing that, you invite her to do the same. This process isn't easy. There are moments you'll want to break the silence, to send that message, to return to comfort. But growth isn't built in comfort. It's built in the stillness of restraint. And that stillness is where attraction breathes. When she thinks of you now, it's not just as the guy who chased, it's as the man who valued himself enough to step back. That image lingers. It makes her question how she treated you, and if she truly saw your worth. If she never did, that's her loss. But if she does, and comes back right, then you've earned more than interest. You've earned respect. So what does she really think when you stop chasing? She thinks everything she never had time to think before. She thinks about how she took you for granted, how rare your energy was, and how silence reveals truth. She thinks about the void you left and whether she deserves to feel it. She wonders if you're happier now, if you've leveled up, or if someone else now benefits from what she ignored. Too, that wondering, it lingers. Because no one forgets someone who made them feel seen, especially when that person chooses to disappear. You didn't stop chasing out of spite. You did it out of self-respect. And that, to a woman who's used to being pursued, changes everything. It reframes who you were in her life, not as a background character, but as a man who knew his value. In that quiet strength, you left the loudest impression. And she'll never unfeel that, and in the end it's not your presence she remembers most. It's the strength of your absence.